Welcome. I have a question to start. What one thing is able to help us sleep better, improve our mental well being, heighten concentration, nourish creativity, expand our perspective, challenge stereotypes, illuminate issues, deepen our empathy, increase our vocabulary, and create more articulate future generations? If you're watching this, I really hope that you know that the answer is, of course, reading. HIS Reads has been around since 2015. We'll take a look at a brief history, the value, and the process of this program at HIS. In 2015, in my first year at HIS, at the request of the headmaster at the time, I created HIS Reads. The goal was to create a program and a platform to value reading and to provide experiences for students to grow their character, to develop themselves. The program began as a prototype for just 11th graders, and then it expanded to include all of secondary at the request of another head of school and a former librarian. As HIS Reads grew, it became clear that for the program to be truly authentic and successful, we needed to expand access to reading. And that helps me change my own program in the classroom and expand the library through some classroom libraries, as you can see in a picture here. And now we get into the actual program itself. HIS Reads is in its 9th year as of 2023. It's become a signature competition. It's a program that not only allows students to value reading and to develop their ability to read, but they're also defending orally, defending in speaking about their belief about the book that they love. In the program, they spend a lot of time working with other students, listening to the way other students defend their books. And through this whole process, they write their thoughts, they script their defenses, and they connect to the text in a way that truly deepens their thinking. HIS Reads is divided into 4 different rounds. It begins in an introductory round, which looks at an essential question. The question is based on the literary theme for the year, and which becomes a center point for all of their defense. Round 2 looks at character growth, the way we can grow as people as we read something. And round 3 talks about the way that we can grow our understanding of the world through a book, our societal connection. Round 4 ends in a culminating call to action that should inspire the audience, the listener, to the book that the defender is defending and to make some small change related to that. HIS Reads moves forward throughout the year from regular classroom assessments into a qualifying round, which leads to the finals. All of this information is nicely packaged on our website, which can be accessed at his.ac.jp. You can click on School News, and in the drop-down, HIS Reads will provide you with a lot of information, and that's a great place to start. But then, of course, you want to start thinking about what kind of books you like and set a goal to make the HIS Reads finals. In 2023, that will be on June 2nd. Most years, our finals happen around the beginning of June, and it's a chance for 16 of the best secondary students to compete. Each year is centered on a literary theme. The 2022-2023 theme is rediscovery, to rediscover who we are after moving through some turmoil. Understanding who we are, again, it's kind of like a hero's circle story, a journey. And then conceptually, HIS Reads is broken into 4 rounds with different focuses and different criteria. In order for students to become master defenders, they go through a pretty rigorous process from selecting a book, right, to thinking about the different rounds that they're focusing on and the criteria, to collecting evidence, to scripting, to looking at the script, to practicing the script, to reading it, to videoing them, and to refine their thinking and the way that they actually present their thoughts. And all of that comes into a process where they compete in what's called the qualifiers. This is actually a photo of judges getting ready for the HIS Reads finals in 2022, but the qualifying judges have a slightly different role than the finalist judges. Their goal is basically to select who the finalists will be. And so they're going to be assessing defenders using the HIS Reads rubric. Their goal is to select a finalist and an honorable mention. And then from the pool of finalists and honorable mentions, then we go through and we seed 16. At the end of the qualifiers, a brief verbal feedback is offered to the defenders, and that's for all. And it's a way of seeing how what they've said speaks to others beyond the classroom teacher. This is something that truly makes HIS Reads qualifier special, is the actual role of the judges. And so as we look at that whole process for judges, it's important to look at the structure of HIS Reads. Round one is focused on the essential question. If you look closely at the rubric, the end goal is to get the audience to think deeply about the essential question. I coach my students to end their round with the essential question, because the truth is, when we're listening to somebody talk, it's hard to really think deeply if there's more to be said. And so these rounds are quite short. The first round is just 1 minute. And so there's a lot of information that goes into that, from the general value of reading to the specific value of the book to the connection to the theme to an essential question that really gets the audience to think deeply. For a defender to do well, they need to inspire thought in their audience based on a question that's based on the theme, that's based on the value of their book. Round two focuses on character development. Now, this doesn't necessarily just mean the development of the character in a book. In fact, the students are encouraged to read a variety of books, from fiction, which would have a character and character development and an arc, to nonfiction, which would not have characters. It would have an author that might have some growth in it. But the goal is actually to talk about the way the audience and the hopeful future readers can develop their character after reading the book that the defender is promoting. And so the final question for round two is, can this book actually change the audience's characters to convince the audience that they should be reading the defender's book, because it will change their character in a specific way. And of course, we have our 28 character traits coming from the Huskies, and so the defenders will be selecting one of those as a framework for the way that they look at character development with their book. Round three expands from personal character development to a deeper understanding of the world. And what's beautiful about books is they provide us different perspectives. They might challenge stereotypes. They might illuminate issues. And so the end question in round three is, how can the book expand the audience's understanding of the world? Now, you might notice I've got a link here. This is the link to the 2022 finals. This is found on our website. It's provided to the judges in the packet for how to prepare for HIS Reads judging. And it's a great source to actually practice and test yourself. So what I've been talking about here is kind of an overview, but the best thing to do is to actually watch some of those previous finalists and take a look at the rubric and try to evaluate them yourself before you get into the actual judging. The last round, inspire the audience, is just that. taking the theme once again, the centerpiece for the defense. The defenders will be reminding the audience why their book is valuable, how it's connected to the theme, and calling the audience to act in a specific, unique, insightful, and inspiring way, to not only read their book, but then to do something once they have read the book, a small change in their life that will make a big difference. And of course, this is something that is incredibly valuable for our future as we continue to see advances in technology. There are many different things that compete with reading, but as mentioned at the very beginning of this presentation, reading is invaluable. It goes beyond measure, and it's something that we truly don't want to replace. And so, being a part of HIS Reads as a student defender, as an audience member, or as a special judge is something that's really valuable to our future generations because of the extreme value of reading. And by doing this, we can continue to have a wonderful, beautiful world that values not just reading, not just character development and understanding the world and action, but it values the process of thinking deeply about something and appreciating that and allowing our thinking to evolve in ways that only something like reading can allow us to do. Thank you for being a part of this presentation. Thank you for supporting not only the HIS Reads program, but reading as a whole and our future generations of deep thinkers. Thank you.